Hey, welcome back to Oddie's Angling TV. Bit of an update video. It's mid-May, and I'm going to run through a few things that have kind of come out, stuck in my mind a little bit over the last couple of sessions I've been out on. Don't know whether you've noticed, I'm back under my Fox Super Brolly. It's taken me 7.5 weeks to get this returned from Fox. Now, I have to put a caveat on that because I don't know whether that's Fox themselves have been slow in getting back with the piece of equipment that was faulty, or it's the distributor that's over here has dragged his heels and been very slow to get the piece back to me. Either or, I've been without this brolly. I set it up for a review. Very impressed with it, I was. And I noticed that there was a small little pinhole. In the fabric, and on putting a little bit of water on it, it was dripping through. So I had to send it back, and as I said, it's taken nearly 2 months to get it back from Fox. But I have to say I'm rather pleased I did wait and get it back, because I set this up last night. I'm on one of my typical short sessions. I set up last night and it was absolutely blowing a gale, and most people were looking at last night and going, will I pack up or not, because it was horrendously windy. And it stayed windy pretty much all last night, and this thing just did not miss a trick. I'm on a very exposed part of the lake. This is a point and there's no cover here, and you really are subject to the elements. And I have to tell you, Super Brolly, you're super. No, a really stunning piece. I'm really happy with it. I must admit, it looks the dogs, and is so functional. I was worried about the material, but no leaks. It rained pretty much all last night, and yeah, it's really functional. Really nice piece of kit. Delighted with it. And so kind of a thumbs up to Fox. I'm happy with this one. So I'm in session here. As I said, I arrived last night. Not a huge amount of fish had been out, one or two. A couple of big fish down the bottom end of the lake had come out, but I fancied coming back to what's become my favourite swim now, because it just seems to keep on producing for me. And it didn't fail last night. I had two fish, one around 9 o'clock last night, which was 23 pound one, and then I had a 26.10 the early hours this morning, which was a repeat capture. I had that fish about 2 weeks ago, and it was weighed in about 27.10 at the time, so it's down about a pound in weight, which is understandable. If it's been caught a couple of times, it's gonna kind of, you know, maybe not feed, and it's probably gone for its first nosh in 2 weeks, and I've had it again. He'll be down at 23 pound the next time I see him. So things that have stood out to me over this session. Well, I've been using the new Ace kickers. These are kind of the built-in liner systems that you can buy. They're pre-made, so you don't actually have to, you know, be steaming a hook length, especially if you're out on the bank and you need to make up a rig. I have to say, ever so impressed with them. I nailed 2 fish on them. I don't know whether I would have nailed the fish without them. Probably would have. But, you know, it's all about confidence, and I have to say, after using them, I will keep using them. Very nice piece of kit. The other thing is, I'm using these new Fox SSC size 7 armour points, and I have to tell you, I'm ever so impressed with them. Big fan of the Penetrator 2 hooks, and when the Penetrator 2, they kind of have disappeared off the market slightly. I don't know whether Terry User still makes them, but a lot of the shops don't stock them. Very hard to get hold of. So I've been looking for an alternative, and I think I've found it. This is a heavy gauged hook, a bit like the Penetrator, not as heavy as the Penetrator, but certainly seems to be a strong hook, certainly for the hit and hold fishing that I'm doing. I'm fishing snags here, and I'm just able to horse the fish out without having to worry about, and it doesn't tear the mouths either, which is a nice thing. Yeah, very impressive hook. Solar baits again doing the biz for me. I'm absolutely loving solar baits at the moment. They're just not missing a trick. The other thing I've been using a lot of is the Fox rapid load PVA bag system, and I have to tell you, I'm ever so impressed with it. Now, it's taken me a little bit of time, like everything in life. You know, the first couple of bags I tried with this system, I just didn't get right, and they were they were really abysmal. But after a little while, you get used to the system and you're able to knock out a bag within seconds that absolutely rocks. I mean, it's very dense, it's functional, it casts well. These are the big bags, these are the large size. They do two different larges. They do a long one and they do a fat one. This is the fat one. But I have to tell you, wicked piece of kit, and very, very quick, very simple. Beats having to try and tie it off with a little bit of PVA tape. Doesn't leave any residue, no globules are left, and melts down. I put this out last night, I cast out, and I think it was only in the water about 8 or 9 minutes, and it rolled off with a 20, I think it was a 23 at that stage. So yeah, look, it works, and doesn't seem to affect the fish in any shape or form, which is always happy days. So yeah, a couple of things there that I'm really happy with. I'm still using my little system with the Vardis sort of, it's an unleaded lead core. It's a braided piece that's very dense. You can splice it. I believe you can knot it. I've not done that yet. Splicing, I will warn you, you need to splice at least 1.5 to 2 inches. You need to burn the tag and you need to super glue it. Otherwise, they do have a habit of undoing themselves. But yeah, I have to say, I'm ever so impressed with the little system. The system is, I have a little loop and I have a nice short 10 to 12 inch link here going straight into my inline lead. And it means that with the loop, I have another loop on my main line and I'm able to change out hook lengths. I have a load of these made up already in the bag, and I have them all ready to go. They're all the same length. And the great thing about that then is I'm able to literally just loop to loop it. I'm done in 30 seconds. On the loop, I have quite a long loop, and most people wouldn't do that, but I actually have quite a long loop. And on that, on the knot of the loop, I have one of the Tasca rubber beads. These are the tungsten beads, so again, I'm keeping everything nice and heavy. In between the two loops that you've created, I also have what's called a Tasca tungsten flying back lead. I just have that clipped on, and it can't go any further than the bead because the bead's set on the knot. And that creates a nice leaded piece, a nice weighted down piece right behind the unleaded lead core, which is also heavy and dense. And it means it pins everything down in the vicinity of where the hook bait is. So yeah, I'm really happy with the way that system is working. And just above then the bead, I also have then a quarter flying back lead. And that, when a cast out, that's allowed fly back, and that can come back 20, 25, 30 yards back from the leads, and it helps then keep everything pinned down. And I'm also using the captive back leads by Fox because it's very weedy out there, and the minute I pick up, I want it, you know, I want it off the line. I don't want it hanging around, and it's working a treat. I've also got my Fox alarms working. They're not missing a trick nowadays. So yeah, all is good, I have to say. The sun is out this morning. It's kind of getting a bit pleasant now. If you stand out in the window, it's freezing. I mean, we're still in May. We're at the 10th of May, I think this is now. And unfortunately, it's freezing still. It's not really, I mean, we had a nice weekend. We've had a couple of days where the sun's come out and we've hit 15 degrees, 16 degrees maybe. But that's it. It's not really happening. Summer hasn't, you know, this is more early spring-like, and the water temperature is still freezing. I was holding the fish earlier on for the camera, and my hands were absolutely frozen solid. It's not warm, that water, and you know, normally by now we would have probably seen an attempt at spawning. I think we're at least a month away. You put your hand in the water in the lake and it's really low temperatures. It's still not that high. They're forecasting today hail and rain and heavy winds again, so it's still not quite there yet. But you know, we're out, we're fishing, and we're enjoying ourselves. Tell you something else I got myself, and that's the Fox Evo Tech all season king size sleeping bag. I think I've got that name right. Anyway, this is a serious piece of kit. I used to always go to sleep in as many layers of clothes as I could because it was always quite cold during the night. I'm actually finding I'm stripping down to the bare minimum in this bag because it's so warm. The great thing about this bag is it's got that fleece lining, but that can be reversed. If you like it more smooth nylon finish, you can zip this liner out and put it back in reversed, and it's that nice soft nylon. The bag itself is rated to 5 season. You can, if you want, unzip the main liner here and sleep with just a small thin liner on top of you and keep everything below you then to make it more comfortable. It's stunning. Like last night, I think it was down to about 3 or 4 degrees. I've no bivvy, I'm just under an umbrella. I was warm as toast. In fact, at some, certain stages I was getting too warm. So, again, a quality piece. It's really well made and very functional. The zipping is real strong. It's got some nice little features to it, and I will do a proper review on it down the line, but I just want to test it out a few more goes before I can put my name on it. But yeah, really, really class piece of kit. Another piece of kit that I got was this Avid Carp fleece top. I have to say, it's another Dog's Danglies. Really, really like it. It's really comfortable, very nice. It's full of fish stains at the moment, so it's got to go in the wash. But, it's that real wind-blocking polar fleece stuff that, you don't want to have anything too heavy on this time of year, but, it still gets a bit nippy. So, I've got just a t-shirt underneath, and I've got then this over the top. And I have to say, sorted. So it's kind of a quick May update of where we're at. The fish are going to start loading on the weight hopefully now over the next while, and we're going to run up to spawning. We should start seeing a big increase in the munching of the carp and the catching of the carp, and also the weights increasing slightly. But as I said, we're still a bit away from seeing any substantial heat in the water temperatures and in the daytime temperatures. I mean, I've got a bloody beanie on, for God's sake. I shouldn't have that on. So yeah, it's been an enjoyable overnighter again. I mean, I mainly only do overnighters nowadays. Being a family guy like a lot of people, time is limited, but I think I'm actually maximising everything because this lake gets really busy from Thursday onwards. From Thursday till Sunday, you'll be hard pushed. There's only 10 swims on the lake and most of the swims are taken. So you'll be hard pushed to get hold of one. I either tend to fish a Thursday night through to a Friday morning, or a Sunday night through to a Monday morning. Now the Sunday night through to a Monday morning is the best of the lot because about midday on a Sunday, most people are gone off the lake and you can really kind of nearly pick and choose your swims. That said, there's 2 anglers fishing over the far side in 2 what we would call fairly hot swims. I don't know whether they're catching. I haven't seen anything happen. But as I said, it's handy to fish this way because you can kind of drop into the spots that you fancy and do kind of well. Also, I don't know what it is with fish, but they seem to understand and know that come Thursday, the pressure's starting to build on the lake, lines are going in, they can hear and feel, I don't know whether they sense the lines in the water, but they can certainly hear leads splashing down, bait going out, and they go in the shutdown mode. I mean, you will pick them off, but they tend to kind of shut down a little bit. But come Sunday afternoon, when everyone else has pulled off the lake, it's as if like a dinner bell gets rung, all the lines are out the water, bar a couple, and yeah, the fish just kind of switch on. They seem to be kind of more up to having it, and yeah, it just kind of, as I said, it suits my kind of fishing. I can't remember the last time I fished a real session. It's been a while, but yeah, well, that's it. I mean, I don't really have much more to say today, so so there you go. I had her in the wee hours of this morning. 26 £10, caught on solar baits again. This is a repeat capture for me. I had this one about 2 weeks ago at 27.10. It's down a pound, 26.10, what she weighed last night, or this morning should I say. I kept her in the sling, the Fox STR flotation sling, for a couple of hours, just until the light came up and I could get a couple of shots off. But stunning looking fish, very, very nice, and very unusual. Got this kind of parrot mouth, and has a broken rib on the other side which kind of protrudes and sticks out. But yeah, very noticeable looking fish. But yeah, quite chuffed, quite happy with myself. Nice bit of dangling, even if I say so myself. Let's get her back. Well, the weather's melogen, and to add insult to injury, I've just lost one. So I got a run about 11 o'clock. It's about half 11 now, and got a steamer of a run, and hit it. And the biggest problem I have is just in front of my rods it's quite shallow, and then it deepens down and there's a big lump of Canadian pondweed. Now you're backleading, but you're backleading over weed. So that means it's not flush to the bottom, and therefore you run the chance of picking up weed along the way. And also your line is running off the bottom. Hit the fish, got it past the main danger area of the snags, got it in halfway, and big fish, really lumping it about, and it showed on the surface. Certainly I think the biggest fish I've had on this weekend. And unfortunately hit the other line. Got caught up on it, bit of pressure on it, and gone. Happens. Don't make it right, don't make it fair, but it does happen. So needless to say, not a happy bunny. I mean, I'm happy I've had two decent fish, but this is just, you know, when you know it was the good one, you know, a biggie, and probably my last chance of the day. I mean, I'll be packing up in a couple of hours. And now I've got a swan back over my baits, which is killing me. Yeah, not good, not good. Weather at the moment is just melogen. We're having showers. We've got a daytime temperature, it's the 10th, 11th of May. Daytime temperature of about 8 or 9 degrees. The wind chill is freezing, so it feels a lot colder. And you know, we should technically, you know, be in t-shirts. I'm in a big fleece and I'm cold. I've got a big hat on and I'm cold. I'm back in the bag because I'm cold. And disappointing, you know, really disappointing in the weather. I'm about to get a run from a swan now because he's right on top of my bait. Don't get me wrong, I like the wildlife, but sometimes they're a real pain in the ass. It's funny though, every now and again you'll see the swan, and as he goes down he backs up real fast, and I definitely reckon that's because there's a fish there. That's the wind, by the way. It's not on Mr. Carp at the moment anyway. Well, anyway, look, maybe we'll get another one. I ain't so certain. I think that was my last knockings, my last chance of a decent fish. So it's just unlucky, you know. But as a lot of people will say, with two mid-20s for a quick overnighter, you shouldn't be moaning, shouldn't be giving out. Sometimes you feel like you did everything wrong You know, like I probably bullied that fish a little bit too much instead of letting him have a run around. That would have kept him up on the surface more. But, you know, as I say, these things happen. So I got this one at last knockings. I had everything packed away and catapulted out about 2 kilo of bait on top of my hook baits. Put away the landing net, which is a real stupid rookie thing to do, and lo and behold, this goes off just as I was taking in one of my rods. So I have to weigh it in the weigh sling on the unhooking mat, so I'll have to deduct that afterwards. Okay, it's saying £30.5. We'll find out our weight in a few minutes. This is a peach. Weight unknown at the moment until I weigh my thing, but it came in at £30.5. Absolute corker. Last knockings of a fish. Packed up everything gone away. Including the landing net. Stupid rookie mistake. And then a couple of bleeps and then it zipped off. Absolutely stonking. Solar bait's doing the job again, but weather conditions, shite. A few minutes ago we had hail like you wouldn't believe, so catching this is a bit of an awesome one to get. Well chuffed. Mint.